So, very interesting day today. I've had these little urges of emotions in terms of I don't think I've ever been as excited about Liverpool going into a season than I am currently right now. I've just got this feeling that not only are we going to go through again this amazing sort of journey, sort of roller coaster with Jurgen, but it's going to be even better. Don't know why, but I'm going to explain in this video some of the reasons why I just think that we are going to basically smash next season to bits. Now, I went to the bookies earlier today. I had a dream last night. I haven't actually told anybody this yet, but those that have seen my personal Facebook will know that I backed Liverpool to win the league for next season. I put 20 quid on it. It's only like 180 quid back, but it's not even about the money. I had a dream last night, and I was just at Anfield with my mate Craig Farrader, weirdly, and we were just talking, and we were like nervous, and we were like talking to each other on the concourse. And he said, "Oh, we just need to win today, and we'll go 10 points clear of Man City. And can you believe it? We're going to win this time. We're going to win the league, and we're going to be here because of COVID and stuff like that." And I woke up. I just woke up about literally 30 seconds after that conversation that I had with Craig. And I got up this morning, and then the news was basically saying that we'd agreed terms of Kefren and Thuram and all that. And I've basically watched football all my life and know that, you know, football comes in cycles. You know, more or less, you can have, you know, a season coming to the end of their cycle, and then you have to reinvest and you have to bring in a new sort of team. But I was listening to Gary Cahill this morning, who was on Talk Sport, and he said that the squad that they had at Chelsea finished 10th one season, and the following season they won the league. Now, all of this came into this 24 hours. My dream last night, waking up this morning hearing about Kefren and Thuram, then Gary Cahill being on the morning show. And I want you to ask yourself this question. 12 months ago, this team, right, nearly won the quadruple. Are you telling me that they are a bad team overnight? The answer is no. Look at the form from last season, the ending bit. So when we went on that run and we nearly got into the top four, we actually pushed Manchester United and Newcastle to the last couple of games. So you've got that. Then add these to it. Luis Diaz was out for 5 months. He's going to have a great pre-season. He'll be back. Diego Jota was out for months. He's going to have a great pre-season. He'll be back. And then you add the fact you've got Virgil will have a pre-season because he had injuries last year. They'll have rest. They haven't got a mid-season World Cup again, which was too much for these players, adding on to the fact that if you look at Liverpool played 63 games last season. They played the season before now. They played more than anyone. They then went into the league playing the gegenpress football, and then got injury after injury after injury after injury after injury, right? Followed by the fact that then was a World Cup, travelling all the way thousands of miles away to Qatar, right? A lot of them went into the knockout stages. They then came back, and then we just got them injuries. Diaz was out for 5 months, etc. And all of our players sort of like were in and out of form. They've then pounded into next season, this coming next season, with I think 2 draws and 8 wins out of the last 10 games, right? In them games, they've beaten Manchester United 7-0, and they've just literally just been back to the old Liverpool. Then you add to the fact that Klopp was coming out saying, right, well, I'm going to oversee this next build. I'm the man to do it. Look at what Klopp's doing. Klopp seems to be running Liverpool now from top to bottom, right? Top to bottom. He has never said at the end of any season that his phone, not Liverpool's phone, his phone is going to be ringing mad over the course of the next couple of weeks. And I think Liverpool are angry. And I still believe in these boys. I haven't lost faith with them like some of our supporters have. You know, I actually believe that with our owners and Jurgen and the core of the fan base all pulling in the same direction, that this could be probably, I'm not ruling out anything next season. I'm not ruling out anything. We could easily win the Europa League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the League. You know, we could win it all. We could do that quadruple. It wouldn't be a quadruple with the Champions League. But are you telling me you don't think Liverpool could win the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League and the League? Now, before anybody gets on my back and says you won't win the league in the Europa League, Arsenal were in the Europa League this year and they still took Man City to the final few games. Liverpool have won league titles before against Manchester City, so they've been there before, and I think they can do it. Then add this. Add Darwin Núñez, who, by the way, keeps getting stick from some of our own fan base, who scored 15 goals and got 4 assists last season in his first season. Look at his stats when he was at Benfica, first season to second season. Look at Lewandowski's stats, first season at Dortmund to second season, right? Klopp knows how to work with world-class strikers, right? I'm telling you, Núñez will fire next season. Add that to it. Add this to it. Cody Gakpo really looked comfortable and was getting better by each game towards the end of last season. He's going to have his first pre-season at Liverpool. He's going to be at it, right? Ibrahim Konate, absolutely brilliant towards the back end of last season, right? And I'm going to say this, we made a categoric error last season, a huge one, and that was persistently playing Naby Keita. No disrespect to him, but he's just gone back to Werder Bremen in Germany. Couldn't believe he passed his medical. But I'm telling you now, the minute Klopp dropped him, we started winning games, because he just didn't track back, he didn't run, and he was a liability. Palace away, I still remember that performance. I couldn't believe that Klopp never pulled him off at half time because he was trying to get himself sent off. That man, we literally finished 5th in the league last year with a crippling injury list and carrying Keita right up until the point where Klopp fucked him off. I'm telling you now, this is why I strongly believe Liverpool could win the league next year, and I'm going to go into more detail as to why I think this, right? Manchester City are all out for the treble this year, right? They'd won another league, they took their foot off the gas, and Arsenal sort of snatched at it last year, but then Arsenal sort of let them back in, and as usual, Man City go on this run. If Manchester United win the Manchester City win the Champions League and do the treble this year, are they going to still have that fight to go again next year? They might be off it by just 5%. Liverpool are angry. Klopp is angry. You can see how angry they are. I'll tell you how angry they are. They're pulling transfers out the bag now, and the window doesn't even open until next week. We've already secured Alexis McAllister, who, by the way, is getting added to this squad, right? We look like we're going to get Kefren Turam in the next few days. We look like we're after Kone. And by the way, this isn't just me saying it. Paul Joyce, Fabrizio Romano, the lad that goes on Redmond TV, all of the major journalists are saying the same names repeatedly. We are in for these boys. And you know what? I promise you this, and everybody that's followed me on YouTube and Live Bird TV and previously on Data to Believers, the minute this window is finished, right, and we bring in 3 to 4 players, and I feel that that's it now, every one of us is pulling in the same direction. I honestly, I'm going to tell you this now, I will never mention the word FSG again in terms of arguing with fans that want them out, because as somebody said to me earlier, even the baseball fans are getting on their back now. I think that FSG, when they took over the Boston Red Sox, I think they won the league for the first time, or whatever it's called, the Major League. They won it for the first time in 80 years. So FSG also brought them. What happens is when you bring somebody to success, you get what's called, what Klopp would call, the fans that jump on the train. Not the ones that have been pushing it since Kazan, the first game against, in Klopp's reign. You get the train jumpers. And what happens is Liverpool tail off the glory fans. They just want Liverpool to be winning Champions Leagues every year, winning the league every year, because it's just the way they are, right? I never doubted this window for 1 minute. For those of you that have been watching my videos know that, right? because I like John Henry. I like FSG. I'll tell you why I like them. One of the most important parts of their ownership, two most important bits of their ownership, in my opinion, is what they've done to Anfield Stadium. That to me has been incredible. Working there for a year was a dream. 2 years, sorry, was a dream. Seeing the development of the stadium, not just the stadium, the surrounding areas, the new houses. Anfield is such a better place to go to now. My kids currently still live there, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is the second thing was when John Henry went to the home dressing room and he didn't even walk in. He stood out there for about 10 minutes looking really nervous and not impatient, sorry, and full of class, because he didn't want to walk in that dressing room, because that isn't his job, that isn't his part, right? And he waited for Klopp to come out, and Klopp came out and he called Klopp boss, right? Also during the Super League, they made a huge mistake, and I was so angry, like 99.9% of the Liverpool fans, apart from some of the American Liverpool fans that wanted it, right? But he was the only owner that came out and actually addressed the Liverpool supporters with his face on the camera and apologised to all of us. The rest of them got the secretaries to doctor up a letter and didn't give a toss, right? So a lot of things come into the reason why I stick up for them. But I'll tell you else, another reason why I stick up for them, because I am the most connected person from my brain to my heart there is. If my heart's telling me something, I go with it. And I just sensed that Klopp would turn it around. Klopp would go again. And I actually believe the man. And do you know what? I'm not going to throw them players out, you know, under the bus, apart from Keita. He's the only one who's gone under the bus with me, and he deserved it. Right, because I believe in them still, and I categorically believe right now, and I hope this video can be played next year. That's why I'm doing it. We are going to go all out for the league title next season, and we're going to win trophies next season. But not just that, I believe we're going to win it, but also I believe that this is going to be a major turning point now. This transfer window is going to be up there with the Virgil and Alisson one, because it's going to kick Liverpool on for the next decade. The energy, the fact, try and pick a Liverpool team now. If we get Kefren Turam, if we get Kone, and if we get Van der Ven, you could put out, like Man City, you could put out 2 Liverpool 11s. Now here's this one. This will excite you. Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Konate, Van der Ven or Konate, or you could go Matt. If we keep Matip, I've got Konate. So we've got the variation of centre backs. Then you've got the left backs, Robertson and all that. So we all know that the defence is not really where I'm aiming at here. It's the midfield. Whatever team we play, if we're playing a Man City away, we can go with the tried and tested Fabinho. We could go with Henderson, and then we could go with, you know, obviously if we get Thuram. Energy, experience, like the old dogs of war we had in terms of Wijnaldum and Henderson and Fabinho years ago, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is now, but we could flip it. We've got Alexis McAllister now that will play the role. He can even play behind a 2 in that role that Bobby used to play in some positions. But then you've got Thuram, Kone. I mean, say for example, say if we want to go for the League Cup, you could play Kone, Thuram, and Curtis Jones or and Elliott. And it's just, I mean, I couldn't think. I could put one line up here, then another line up there, another line. Then if you think of the front 3, right? You could go Diaz, Núñez, Salah, or you could go Gakpo, Salah, and Elliott. You could flip it around like that and play up the right side of the left side, or you could go Jota, you know, Diaz, and you could go. Who's the other one? I'm thinking of somebody else. My head's got scattered. There's so many options, your head gets scattered. What I'm trying to say to you is there's so many options now. We've got literally, if we can get, which we will do, these next 2 in, Thuram and Kone and stuff like that, this is the midfield. Fabinho, Curtis Jones, McAllister, Thuram, Henderson, Elliott, Thiago, That's 7. Am I missing one? I think, well, that's 7. 7 centre midfielders. If I'm missing one, I'm missing one. We'll get to comments in a minute anyway. But there's 7. We played 3 in midfield. So we've now got double the cover. So it's just yeah. Sorry, and then you got Bajcetic, 8. So there's 8 midfielders. It's just, honestly, it's just unbelievable. And this is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, I will never ever argue FSG out again after this window, because what will happen is there's no excuses for anybody to fall out. We go into the season with start winning trophies again. It's proved that we're successful, because at the end of the day, I was thinking about this the other day about the Glazers and the 33 million they've took out in dividends, the debt that they loaded Manchester United up with, and the fact that the stadium's fallen to pieces. I don't need a reason to change my mind with FSG, but I will say this: if they didn't back Jurgen and Jurgen walked, they would have lost me for good. But that's the crisis point it would have had to got to me, because I look at it like this: we've had some incredible times with our owners, incredible times with Jurgen. Jurgen seems to love them as well, a bit like I do. I still have a soft spot for them. I don't like the way the way they've put the prices up of Liverpool shirts and stuff like that. But what they've done to Anfield is incredible, and it won't stop there. I mean, if they can, they will do the Kenny stand next, and Anfield's going to get better and better. And do you know what? For the fans that are going to be really angry at them, you'll get tickets this season, because they've just provided you with an extra 7,000 seats, and I've been told that 3,000 of them are for members, and then there's 3,000 for corporate, I've been told, and then 1,000 for season ticket holders. So there's going to be 3,000 more members sale tickets from next season. Someone messaged me the other day, and he goes to games. So the feel-good factor's back. I've said this: I don't think Jurgen will go in 3 years. I think he'll sign again, probably stay till he's 6 there. So these are going to be the best years. I actually think they're going to be better than the last few years, and I'll tell you why. Man City are going to be coming into transition soon in terms of Pep. I can't see Pep staying. He might even go after winning the Champions League this year. You just don't know. He'll want a new project soon. Probably go back to Barcelona or something like that, or PSG. You know what he's like, wherever the money is. But anyway, I'm going to get to comments and just see what everybody's saying. So, evening, Neil. All right, Jerry Duncan, how you doing? Hey, Peter McDougall. I'm fine, sorry, Jerry. Thanks, mate. I'm just going to go a bit slower. Peter McDougall, hey, buddy, how you doing? Just posted up the Alexis McAllister arrival video, well worth a watch. Yes, mate, I'll watch that in a second. Peter McDougall as well. Kefren Turam, just a matter of time. I hear we're pushing to get the deal done before the first match of the Under-21 tournament. Brilliant, mate. Ryan Bignall, in Klopp we trust, 100%. Evening, Pam, I hope you're well. Evening, Mary, I hope you're well as well. Evening, Tony, again, hope you're well. Bjorn, hope you're well, mate. I'm really good. Going through the comments again here. Bjorn, hi, mate, how are you? I'm very good, thanks. Tony Gerald Croft, I think Trent will be hybrid next season. I think he'll be everywhere. I think he'll rotate for different games. Sam J. Edwards, I can't wait for the new season. That's another thing. We'll take the domestic cup seriously next season, because it would have hurt the Liverpool players seeing other teams winning it this year. So I think we'll go all out for every trophy. But John, again, you are the best. Cheers, pal. Thanks a lot. Comments still coming through. But John, again, salary's great. Yeah. Ryan Bignall, hope you're well, mate. Where would you play Trent? Ryan, I'd actually change it for whatever game it is. So if we're playing a Bournemouth at home, this is just an example, a Bournemouth at home, and they're going to sit with 10 at the back, play him in midfield, he's going to be on the ball more. Him and Alexis McAllister were probably Fabinho sitting. He'll just protect, and you can have 2 central attacking midfielders. If we're playing a Man City, again, you'd probably play him at right back, because you'd put you solid. I actually think Trent got a lot of stick this season because the midfield had Keita and that in it and wasn't protecting him enough. Go back to when we won the league, go back to when we were in Champions League finals, Trent never got this stick. So I think that with Thuram, Kone, Fabinho, Thiago, or whatever, the midfield will be so much better next season. I think with that protection, energy and length, Trent won't be as exposed. So I think that you'll probably see Trent at right back next season, and Calvin Ramsey will back him up. Don't give up on Calvin Ramsey yet. I know a few people up here that have told me who work at Celtic said he was brilliant for Aberdeen, and as in, don't slag off defenders that come out of Scotland, because Virgil van Dijk and Andrew Robertson were one of them, and Kieran Tierney. So there's a lot of good defenders that come out of Scotland, plus Alan Hansen. Scott Williams, how are we, mate? Hope we're good. Really well, really good, mate. Thanks a lot. I'm going to be renewing my membership, so you'll be seeing me at Anfield as many times as I can get there next season. Scott Williams, a lot of rumours about Vega from Celta Vigo. Yeah, I've heard that one on Redmen TV as well, mate. Pete McDougall, FSG lover. I will be a believer if we get Kefren, Thuram and McAllister in the same window. Would be nuts. I did say 5 to 6 players in this transfer window, and the McAllister deal was daylight robbery for us. Can't believe how much money we saved there on that deal. It's a big window, and as you have said, the transfer window has not even opened yet, and we've got one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Last season, all of his stats, he was almost first in everything. Big improvement, just our transfer window alone for our centre midfield. Now we have our goal scoring centre mid. Nunes will be loving this. Boy's going to be on fire next season. Scott Williams, Kone looks a monster, loves a snapping tackle. We've been screaming for pace and energy in the midfield, and him and Thuram give us that. Mate, Scott, I agree, I've seen the video, but watch the one with Thuram. He is 6'4", and when he runs with a ball, or when he's tackling somebody, players bounce off him. Can you imagine having Kone and Thuram as our DMs, right? And then just swapping a Thiago or a Gary McAllister or a McAllister as a central attacking for Thiago. Honestly, I cannot believe, even if we go into the season after we sign Thuram, even if the window ended tomorrow and we got Thuram and McAllister, coupled by the fact that Curtis Jones was great towards last season, coupled by the fact we got Bashatic and all that, coupled by the fact, obviously I don't think we will, but I mean I'd still be confident, because if I'm not looking at it as anything other than we were just fucked last year in terms of energy and injuries, but I actually believe now that we will, and we found a new formation with the Trent role. Like Jamie Carragher says, finding that role for Trent means we don't have to go and spend 120 million on a Jude Bellingham, because we've just found one, and Bellingham cannot do what Trent can with his feet, with his right foot. I'm telling you now, but he's got good energy, he's got good on the ball, he's a good player, but he hasn't got the ability of Trent on the ball. No chance. So we have just found a Bellingham in his prime, 24-year-old Scouser. Why do we need just end the Bellingham shit now? The wages Bellingham is getting, I think, is the reason we pulled out. Scott, totally agree, and I said that, and I got loads of stick for it. What do you think Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Henderson and all that would say when a 19-year-old boy that's never played in the Premier League wanders in on bigger wages than them? It would have caused massive upheaval, it would have caused massive stress in the changing room, and also FSG would have looked at that as, oh no, we're not doing this, because then everybody else will want pay rises, and before you know it, our wages go through the roof. And another thing I want to stick up for them for is James Milner. FSG got stick for saying James Milner, right, was not getting a new deal. But these people that gave FSG stick for that were the same people putting these memes up that Milner will be signing a year deal every year because FSG is stingy. Make up your mind. They're either stingy and want to keep Milner on to save money, or you now hate them because they got rid of Milner. But I agree with that, because if Jurgen Klopp has had to sit down to a John Henry and say, look, we need you to back us here, we need 200 million, we need players because Milner's 37, blah blah blah. John Henry can't then say, it could say back to Jurgen, hang about here, you've just convinced me to give you 200 million, but then now you want to keep Milner. If you want money for new energy and new legs, then he has to go. And I actually think that that would be the conversation we had. And John Henry would be right for thinking that, because if he's going to invest in the next Milner, which is Thuram or Kone, then we need Milner's wages off the wage bill to then pay Kone and Thuram. That's football, that's the way it is. And by the way, I'm just going to announce that I am actually Liverpool right now on Football Manager, and I have signed Thuram, and I've signed Van der Ven, and I've signed McAllister, and on top of the league. So get on Football Manager and get these boys in, because I'm telling you now, they are absolutely unbelievable. And I am top of the league. I'm second in my group, Champions League group. Atletico Madrid at the top at the moment. They beat me 2-0 away. Suarez scored the bastard. I'm playing Football Manager 222. But I'm just saying, it's amazing. Copycat. Copycat, laugh out loud. along with the £5 million his dad got in his pocket. Yeah, that pissed me off a little bit, because they said that his dad was, well, he's an ex-police officer, isn't it? And they said that his dad was a really good person and stuff like that. And if he's profiting off his son, he's gone down in my estimation for that anyway. Anyway, so I'm really happy. Let me know your thoughts on this video. I believe in these boys. That's before we sign new players. These boys get the special nights. So next season, get your tickets booked for Dublin, because we're winning that Europa League. I'm telling you now, nobody's going to be able to compete with us in that league. The Europa League is not the Champions League, and Liverpool have been in 3 Champions League finals in the last 5 years. So you best believe we're getting to Dublin, and you best believe I'm going on a plane over there. I cannot wait. We're going to win trophies. I believe in these boys. I believe in Jurgen, and I believe in our owners. You'll never walk alone.